Here are top 5 reasons to do shared housing. Make sure to watch until the 5th reason because that completes the formula.
Number 1.
More cash flow.
What made you, want to look into group homes?
Yeah, I started doing some shared living. So I was like, man, I'm going to work so hard and I got a giant house with 6 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. I was like, man, let me learn the shared living game. So I started doing that. And then from there, I was like, man, if I can rent them out $600 to $650 a room, which I was doing, that's pretty good income. That was much more than I was making just the job. So I started doing that. And then from there, I started learning about creative real estate. And I started doing some lease options on properties. I started doing some seller finance on properties. And while I was still doing wholesaling as well too. So I still wholesale to this day. I love wholesaling. I think it's the meat and potatoes of learning how to actually find deals and not only to assign them to buyers or flip them or whatever you're going to do, but to actually just learn the basic traits of just finding a deal, contacting the seller.
Number 2.
Guaranteed checks.
How do you handle not just one qualified tenant, but possibly 6 folks that might not have full-time jobs, et cetera? What are kind of the systems you have in place to avoid all those quote unquote hell dates?
I avoid the hell dates by one, some of my tenants get SSI or SSDI. And so because they don't want to be homeless and because they have a roof over their head, some pay on time. I show up and some directly give me the rent money, or some are not capable through the state to be able to do it. And so they go through a payee service. And so I have found 2 payee services that allows me to become a vendor or a provider connected with them, and they direct deposit into my account.
So guaranteed checks, folks. That's one of the major advantages to this business model. There's more people in the property, but we're not chasing everybody down on the first of the month to collect that rent. It's going to be direct deposited, typically directly from Uncle Sam.
Number 3.
More control over your property. No evictions.
We don't have to go through the eviction process. It's similar to a hotel. You break the rules, we ask you to leave, you got to leave. Boom. Huge advantage. So, did you explain that to the landlord?
Yep, and that was a good selling point for me when I did mention that to him.
Yeah, because he just went through the eviction.
Yeah, he was like, wait, how would you do that? How would you be able to do that? And then we spoke more, and I forwarded him over a copy of what I'll be using, which was what I pulled out the gold packet. And he was like, okay. So he heard me a little bit more, and yeah, he gave me the go, and he's so excited. He's probably even more excited than I am about, doing the affordable assisted living.
Yeah, if you've gone through this and you realize the advantages, when I talk to real estate people, like on the coaching calls, you just see that their eyes like light up, right? Because it's, especially if you have the motivation to help your community out, this is kind of a way to kind of minimize those disadvantages of rental properties. But then at the same time, you're going to be helping out the community. You're going to be helping those people in need. And probably the first thing you use to catch his attention, you're going to be making way more money. So it's all kind of counterintuitive, but once you can explain this stuff to people, the sky's the limit. So, and what a great first call you made. So the guy has a couple of different properties. If this one goes well, you probably have the option to kind of grow with him if you choose to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, he's really investing money already. Like I just told him, my vision as far as, with affordable assisted living. And he had already started the process. He's like, I got someone installing a half bathroom now. So like, I was like, wait, let me finish this one first. And he's like, well, you got it. We'll get it going. So he's pushing me even when I'm like drained. He's pushing me to be like, hey, don't forget about this part.
Number 4.
Start with little to no money.
Us as being entrepreneurs and trying to start it off with no money and go to a landlord, just mentioning those key things, like they're losing so much money. And the property, a lot of times when renters rent, they don't take care of it. So they bust holes or rip the walls apart for whatever reason. It's just so much money they're losing. So if someone, it's all about your approach. And if someone has an ear, then they can hear you. But if they're not trying to hear you, that's just what it is. But if you can get someone just to listen to you and you slow down and you speak clearly and you calm and you are confident, then it will be okay. He's really investing money already. Like I just told him, my vision as far as, with affordable assisted living. And he had already started the process. He's like, I got someone installing a half bathroom now. So like, I was like, wait, let me finish this one first. And he's like, well, you got it. We'll get it going. So he's pushing me even when I'm like drained. He's pushing me to be like, hey, don't forget about this part.
Number 5.
Start quickly. No licensing required.
All these amazing real estate ideas, and I hear someone mention unlicensed group home. And I'm like, huh? You can't have a group home unlicensed. That's not right. You can go to jail. That's not going to work. And so I just started to listen to this lady more and more and more. I'm listening to her talk. She's one of your previous students, Tasha. So I'm listening to her more and more, and I'm like, this can't be true. So I love searching the internet. I go to the internet, YouTube. Not a lot of people talking about unlicensed group homes. There's a lot of horror stories. This happened. I'm like, man, it got to be something else. I go and I type it in and I find group home riches. And I'm like, I'm going to be honest. It is no way in hell that this course is about to teach me everything that I know. And it's only $179. So I bought the course and I'm like, everything is in here. Contracts, tenant agreements, what type of insurance to say, a list of negotiations, a checklist for things that you need in a house. Everything was in it. And I was like, okay, let's see if I can really follow through with it. I have one room going for $850, another one going for $700, and then a shared room where the beds, not the entire room, the beds are $650 a piece. I am cash flowing $2,850 a month on a mobile home with the group home riches philosophy inside of a mobile home park.
Want to learn more about the future real estate? Sign up for your free training material at www.grouphomeriches.com.